This is the Commissioner meeting of February 14th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the Sussex County Administrative Center, Commissioner Meeting Room, 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick?
Here.
Director Space?
Here.
Deputy Director Carney?
Here.
Commissioner DeGroot?
Here.
Can I get a moment of silence and a salute to the flag? Tonight, I'd like to have a moment of silence for the 3 reservists from Georgia killed in last month's drone attack on a U.S. base in Jordan, and for the 5 Marines killed in the helicopter crash in California last week. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email, such notice being submitted on January 7th, 2024, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald and the Star-Ledger, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for public announcements, and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. At this time, please mute all electronic devices.
Director, before we proceed, I would just like, your last comment was at this time, please mute all electronic devices. Obviously, that's for the public. I also think that needs to be for us up here at the dais. I'd like to just propose that everybody takes their phone off the dais, puts them in their pocket, unless it's an emergency.
I agree.
I find it very rude that we're on our phones while we're conducting business here. So moving forward, if we could just keep that the same, or give it to Christina Marks. She could hold it if you feel like a family member, somebody important is going to call you. She could let you know.
I agree. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deputy Director. Okay. Approval of agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Still moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney and Commissioner DeGroot. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Proclamation, certificate presentations, none. Public hearing, final adoption, resolution. At our regular meeting held on January 24th, 2024, we introduced for the first reading the following resolution, which was advertised in the New Jersey Herald issue of January 30th, 2024, together with a notice of public hearing stating it would be held at this meeting at 6 p.m. Resolution. Authorizing cap to limit county budget appropriation increase in CY 2024 county budget to 3.5% over the previous year's final appropriations, subject to certain exceptions, and to establish an appropriation cap bank. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be opened?
Still moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney, in a second.
Second.
Commissioner Schick, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Is anyone present to be heard regarding this resolution? Can I get a motion that the public hearing... Oh, sorry about that. I jumped the gun. Is anyone present to be heard regarding this motion? Anyone? No. Okay. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed?
Still moved.
Okay. Deputy Director Carney, in a second. Commissioner DeGroot. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
Ron, excuse me, Director, can you just go over this again for the public with the 3.5%? That way people don't think that we're raising taxes by that?
Yes, we are not raising taxes by 3.5%.
No, we did it.
No. Alpha, you want to take it this time? Or
Since you're here?
Yeah.
Sure.
So this resolution authorizes the county to increase their budget to 3.5% of the previous year. However, the more important part of this resolution is to be able to cap that amount for future use had there be emergencies. We have no intention in this year's budget, that was in our last workshop, to increase the budget to 3.5%. It's a state thing that's done every year for good financial planning.
Thank you. Can I get a motion that this resolution be finally adopted?
So moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney, and a second.
Second.
Commissioner Schick, any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space.
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay. A motion to authorize the clerk to advertise this resolution as finally adopted and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Deputy Director Carney and Commissioner DeGroot. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. A public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make a comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and state your name, municipality, and agenda topic for the record. Can I get a motion to open the floor for public comment?
Still moved.
Deputy Director Carney
Second.
and Commissioner DeGroot seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Anyone? Okay. Can I get a motion to close the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney, in a second.
Second.
Commissioner Schick, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Commissioner comments. I'm going to start with Commissioner DeGroot.
Terrific. First and foremost, happy Valentine's Day. But on a serious note, to begin, Farmland Preservation Revitalization Tour has continued. Myself, I'm engaging and traveling to the various municipalities, as spoke about before. Since our last meeting, I visited Green's Agricultural Committee, Hampton's and Stillwater's Townships Council, Frankfurt and Byram's Open Space Committee, as well as Sparta's Environmental Commission. All the committees and councils really provided positive feedback towards the initiative. Specifically, Frankfurt's Open Space and Green's Agricultural Committee assured me they plan on directly doing outreach in some way, shape, or form to the local, interested farmers. Sparta's Environmental Commission actually is going through and revitalizing and, I guess, redoing their preservation plan. So, really great things and feedbacks from the council. With the 9 total stops so far, I continue to look out, and I'm actually looking now to follow up with them and see, what kind of direct outreach they are doing. So, really great stuff, and I'm here again to provide you with updates. Second, moving from farmland preservation to open space, myself and the Open Space Committee had our first meeting of the year on January 25th. It was great to acquaint myself with the board and immerse myself in the board's goals of stewardship. In addition, on February 8th, some of the members conducted a site visit for an open space acquisition in Frankfurt, Lake Owassa. This was conducted in February 8th, so just last week. Regrettably, I couldn't actually participate because I ruptured my eardrum last meeting, if you guys remember. But we're all okay now. We're getting better. Nonetheless, I heard that everything on the site visit really went well, and it would be a really nice acquisition for us. There will be a formal presentation for the acquisition by the applicant in February's open space meeting, so I'll provide that update to the council. Division of Health and Human Services. Sussex County's Division of Health is offering COVID-19 vaccinations with Spikevax by Moderna, 12 years and older only. COVID-19 vaccinations will be available on a walk-in basis in conjunction with flu vaccines on the following date and times at the location outlined below, which is the Office of Public Health and Nursing, 201 Weeksworth Road, Hamburg, New Jersey, 07419. And this will be conducted Wednesday, February 21st, 2024, from 12 to 2 p.m. Public Health Nursing continues to provide homebound vaccinations as requested. And the most recent for influenza and flu respiratory illnesses, most recent New Jersey Department of Health influenza activity level report as of the week ending February 3rd, 2024, which was my birthday, indicates the influenza activity level is high statewide. So please, practice healthy sanitary conditions. Lastly, I'm almost done. I had my first trip to Trenton for NJAC's reorganization meeting. It was an honor to be sworn in NJAC's board of directors as a liaison for Sussex County. I really want to thank my fellow commissioners on this board for trusting me in this role. I really deeply appreciate it. And for context, for any of you that don't know, NJAC is a New Jersey Association of Counties. We're committed to advocating for legislation, regulation, and policy directives that empower county governments to operate more effectively and efficiently. NJAC is committed to advancing innovative programs and initiatives that enhance the level of county services provided and save valuable taxpayer dollars. Really look forward to collaborating with fellow county commissioners all across the state. Thank you. God bless. That's it.
Thank you, Jack. And I want to welcome our newest commissioner, Commissioner Earl Schick III, and you can go next.
Well, thank you. It's humbling. I've had a very busy week this week, being introduced to everybody at the county, sitting with Elka and going over the budget with a fine-tooth comb, bringing me up to speed, and just really excited about what you guys have in store for me here on the board. Thank you.
Deputy Director Carney.
Thank you. I have a lot today, but I want to start by congratulating you. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. With that being said, I will read my reports from the DPW, Planning and Engineering. We have replacement of Bridge X48, which carries Mudtown Road over Clovebrook in Township of Wantage. The project will involve the construction of full replacement structure incorporating current design standards and improved deck width. The designer is Boswell Engineering. Grade Construction is the contractor, and the amount was $1,446,372.44, with the grant being $800,000, the two grants totaling $1.5 million. Capital funding was $296,372.44, and the construction is expected in '24. I don't have a month yet, but I will get that to you when I receive that myself. Farmland preservation. Jack will like this. Acquisition was to preserve 94.67 gross acres of farmland, including 40 acres of soils supportive of agriculture in the Township of Green. Gross preservation acreage was, like I said, 94.67, exception of 6.7 acres. Net preservation, 87.97 acres. Tillable acres, 40 acres, which is 46%. Woodlands, wetlands acreage, 46 acres, 54%. Soil supportive ag, 40 acres. That's a big farm. So 2 market appraisals been done. Appraisal reports submitted to SADC for certification of appraisal value. Certified value received from SADC. An official offer submitted to the landowner. So hopefully we'll see that progress soon. You can put that in your checklist. DPW Frankfurt crew completed work to repair a failed asphalt pavement box and wearing on Surface County Road 521. The failure of asphalt was due to a weak roadway subgrade impacted by recent freeze-thaw cycles. The work included excavation of the failed asphalt and subgrade, installed new DGA subgrade, and new asphalt pavement. With that being said, Jill and I continue our DPW tour. I'll take that word from Jack. I like that. Going to different garages. We did hit Wantage Garage, which entailed brought Vernon there. Learning different things, what they're up against, what their concerns are. So we're going to continue doing that and trying to help out as much as possible. Kudos to them too. I know we had in Frankfurt, where I live, we probably had around 13 inches. I know that varied throughout the county, but as always, they do a great job cleaning up. Really do a good job, and I'm sure they were up. I don't even know how long, but I could imagine anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, all said and done, to clean up and make sure we're safe. We have safe roads. There was something that came up at a last DPW garage, and I honestly dropped that ball. But there was a man that worked, and do we have his name, by the way?
I had, Ron, do you remember his name? I had it, and it's not in front of me at the moment.
Canstestein.
Yes.
Ernie, how do you say that?
You're asking the wrong one.
All right, well, we'll have to get
You
back.
said it good.
Canstestein.
Canstestein.
So this man has worked for Sussex County for 50 years in a DPW. And no one ever gave him any acknowledgement. And that's something that needs to change. There was a woman who worked at the library. She retired, I believe it was last year, and they did a little something for her. And we acknowledged her, and it was brought to our attention. But, that can't happen. You work for somebody for that long. You literally, longer than I've been alive, times two, which Jack's been alive. So going forward, and I'm looking for support from the board, we should be acknowledging these people who've worked here for a long time. And I don't know if you guys want to start at 20 years or 25 years, but every 5 years after that, they should have some acknowledgement. And when you work for 50 years, when you have a milestone like that, there should be a proclamation for these people. So what I'm proposing, as long as you guys are all in favor for it, is acknowledging people. And even coming up with some pins. We all wear pins. You got a flag. You got the county here. I know even in my job, there's 20-year pins, 25-year pins. So I believe we need to start doing something like that. And it wouldn't even be a bad idea putting a board outside or by our pictures. This is the Commissioner Board of Recognition. You've been here for a long time. Thank you for your service. Those people have been here longer than we're going to be here. That's for sure.
I think we start at 5. I do. For a board.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, for
We'll
a
have to
board.
talk about that one. I'm not sure.
ShopRite does.
But it's something that we need to consider, and as long as you guys are on board with that, then we could all come, work on that with Christina. But these people need to be acknowledged. They really, really do. And, I was just taken back, and I know Jill was too. You worked here for 50 years, and no one gave you a pat on the back. Just.
It's not too late to bring him in, is it?
No, and again, the other question I have for you is, he's still working here, so at our next meeting, I would like to have a proclamation for this man, bring him in here, and acknowledge the 50 years.
100%.
And then include that in putting a board up and having pins. So as long as you guys are good with that, I'll work with Christina and the rest of you guys individually and see where you guys want to be. Are we good?
Yes, sounds good.
Ron, you're going to be meeting with, we talked about the parking garage. He's going to be meeting with the meter contractor.
23rd.
The 23rd. I won't be here for that. I set up a meeting with District 24. They're working with Gottheimer's office. I think I brought this up at the last meeting with broadband, the BPU. That meeting is going to take place on March 8th. So, there's money set aside, as I said in the last meeting, for broadband. We have an issue with broadband. I want to see that money. Where's that money? So we're going to, and actually District 23 too, I'm sorry, Senator Steinhardt, I believe you'll be involved in that as well. And the Commissioner Board as well, or just, right. So it's kind of a joint venture per se with District 23, 24, Commissioner Board of Warren County and Sussex County to get some money and start using it where we need to. Those promises being made, and they're just not happening. 2 years ago, Murphy came here and he said there was money. Well, I haven't seen any. I don't know if you guys have. And then there's one more thing. This is a press release. Again, being a liaison to District 24, this is a press release. It's something that I strongly believe in when it comes to materials that are being taught in schools. So this is a press release by Space, Fantasia, and Ganamore opposing bills allowing distribution of obscene materials to children. This is also backed by our Sussex County GOP Chairman Joe LaBarbera. He sent me an email today. So I'm just going to read this to you. And this is something that I'm hoping that you guys will be behind as well for a resolution for our next meeting. And we'll put something together and we'll have time to look it over before our next meeting. But I'm going to read this to you for the public and the commissioners, because you have not seen this yet. Senator Parker Space, Assemblywoman Dawn Fantasia, and Assemblyman Michael Ganamore, all Republicans from Sussex, Morris, and Warren, today voiced their strong opposition to Senate Bill 2421 and Assembly Bill 3446. The new legislation gives affirmative defense to a prosecution for distributing obscene materials to minors if the person distributing the obscene material is a teacher, teaching staff member, school librarian, or staff member of a public library performing their job duties. This bill is nothing more than a big government mandating an ideological agenda in our schools, said Space, who is both a parent and grandparent, served for over 10 years in the Assembly before his election in the State Senate last year. We should respect parents and local school officials enough for them to decide what is appropriate when deciding what educational materials should be available to students, period. The bill includes 8 new mandates that strip school boards of their decision-making power in favor of the state government. First and foremost, this legislation is an effort to parents and taxpayers by I don't even know what that word is. What is that word?
Usurping.
Usurping. More control away from local education and giving it to the faceless bureaucrats in Trenton, said Fantasia. That's because it's Dawn's word. A professional educator and mother of 3 adult children. Provisions in the bill silence the public into submission and handcuff local school boards by the special legal protection afforded certain educators and librarians if they decide to keep obscene materials on bookshelves. Since the shutdowns of our public schools due to pandemic, concerned parents have been advocating for more transparency and more oversight in what the educational materials are being disseminated to their children. This has sparked statewide outrage at the several inappropriateness of some of the curriculum and material being used in our schools and libraries. There is no place for obscene, sexual explicit materials in classrooms, no matter who is distributing it, said Ganamore, a father of 3. Let's also remember that most teachers and librarians don't want to be put in this position in the first place. We'll strongly oppose the legislation to protect our kids first and foremost, and to defend the integrity of the teaching profession too. S2421 and A3446 have been referred to the respective education committees in the Senate and General Assembly. Although no further legislation action has been taken to the date, the legislators expressed their vigilance in keeping on top of the issue to fight for the interests of parents in their community.
By way of a brief update, it was pulled to the Education Committee scheduled for tomorrow, late this afternoon.
Even better.
Good.
Even better. So at this point, then we really don't need to do anything. This just got to my desk.
This was giving you a heads up.
This got to my email a few hours ago, really, so I didn't read it, hence I didn't know that word. So sorry for that. But this is the kind of stuff that, we need to have a voice for. This is what our constituents, don't want and want us to protect. There's certain resolutions that we do for, I don't know what reason sometimes, but there's certain ones that we need to believe in and protect our constituents. And going forward, I'm going to do that. So I believe, as long-winded as that was, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Am I the new Dawn?
Yeah. You're just trying to make my meetings a little longer.
In that respect.
Thank you.
On that note, thank you. I just want to thank Rayanne Guru for attending the DPW meeting with Chris and I last week. We meet them at 7 a.m. So she is the CWA president, right?
Vice President.
Vice president. So for her to get up and go to a meeting that Chris and I schedule at 7 a.m. so willingly, I really want to thank her. It was very helpful for the DPW employees and for Deputy Director Carney and I to have her there. It's been 3 weeks since our last meeting, and which I think Jack probably forgot that we attended a chamber meeting together with Tammy Horsfield, and she is planning an expo for the farmers.
Yeah.
So we're eagerly looking forward to seeing more information on that coming up soon. And Ron and I had an economic development partnership reorganization meeting, and that was very good to hear all the different things that are being in the planning processes here in the county. There are things that we're not allowed to bring up and talk about until they're approved, but there's some exciting things coming to the county. Repurposing buildings that are vacant is the most important thing. I also attended my very first planning board meeting ever, and that was also very interesting. And the 4 commissioners and I here, we also attended the SCUMA reorg. Okay, and I have one thing that was sent to me, and this is from the homeless veterans in New Jersey. If they have nowhere to go, there's a reminder that the emergency hotel stays are available for homeless Sussex County veterans through the Catholic Charities, NJSOS Vets, Welcome Home Vets of New Jersey, new initiative. When it's snowing, they're here, they give a place, or if it's cold, they will put a homeless veteran in a warm hotel for 3 days, followed with a SSVF caseworker. It's a simple process. If a street homeless veteran is found in Sussex County, call 855-289-8527. They take referrals up to 9 p.m. and on weekends. They need our help. They wanted us to share this with our first responders, warming centers, and any county agencies. So I figured I would read that into the record. And anyone can contact David Pearson from Catholic Charities Diocese of Patterson Veteran Services at 973-818-3601. Division of Health, Limecrest update. The New Jersey Department of Health, NJDOH, recently received documents indicating that the sale of the Limecrest to a new owner has been finalized. NJDOH also received notification from the Medicaid Fraud Division of the Office of State Comptroller that following the sale, they have lifted the suspension of the facility from Medicaid. NJDOH has informed the administrator that the directed plan of correction, curtailment of admissions, and the department's summary suspension have been lifted. Office of Public Health Nursing, a women's health screening clinic, will be held on Thursday, February 22nd, 2024, from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. And at the Office of Public Health Nursing, 201 Wheatsworth Road, Hamburg, this clinic offers a variety of health screenings and education. This service is free to uninsured and underinsured county residents who qualify for the New Jersey Cancer Education and Early Detection NJSEED program. To make an appointment, call the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1246. Environmental health. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that is a decay product of uranium. New Jersey has particularly high levels of radon due to its uranium-rich natural environment. Radon gas can accumulate in enclosed places such as homes or other buildings. However, its presence can only be detected by testing specifically for radon because the gas is invisible and has no odor. All homeowners are encouraged to test their homes for radon because long-term exposure to the gas has been linked to lung cancer. Sussex County residents are eligible to receive one free radon testing kit per household through a joint effort by the Sussex County Division of Health and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, DEP, radon section. A limited supply of test kits will be available for distribution on a first-come, first-served basis at the Sussex County Division of Health, located at 201 Wheatsworth Road, Hardiston, New Jersey, 07419. For more information on radon and the testing kits, please call Julia Uriel at Sussex County Division of Health, 973-579-0370, extension 1243. You can also contact the NJDEP radon section at 800-648-0394 or visit their website, www.njradon.org. Division of Senior Services. The Division of Senior Services has been visiting senior housing and nutrition sites across the county to conduct presentations about its various programs and services. The division is scheduled to present to Brookside Terrace on February 14th, Franklin House on February 21st, and the Hopatcong Senior Center February 28th. Open Computer Lab at Sussex County Community College. The Center for Lifelong Learning at Sussex County Community College is offering an open computer lab to Sussex County seniors during the spring semester to enhance their computer literacy skills. The lab is free and is available to seniors in the college library. For additional information, please contact the Division of Senior Services at 973-579-0555, extension 1277. And before this meeting, we had our budget meeting with Elke Yetter, our CFO, and we had the first introduction of it, and our budget right now is looking very healthy at a 0.889%. So, like I said in that last meeting, I think that all the department heads and our CFO and her staff have, and Ron and the whole board have done a very good job getting it to that, considering that inflation is right now hovering around 4.5%. So we will be bringing that up at our next meeting.
First reading next
Our
meeting.
first reading will be at our next commissioner meeting. And then I will have something during new business, but at this point we will move on. Okay. So, approval of consent agenda, there is none. Approval of minutes. The approval of the regular meeting minutes, January 4th, 2023. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
First.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot, and a second.
Second.
Deputy Director Carney, any discussion? Earl, you weren't here, so you will probably be an abstention. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion carried. Ordinances, we have none. Appointments and/or resignations. I'm going to do all three of these together unless anyone requests to have it separated. Resolution A, acknowledging appointment of Herbert Yardley as a member of the Sussex County Community College Board of Trustees, said term to expire December 31st, 2026. Resolution B, appointment of Lisa Moriello to the Sussex County Mental Health Board for a term of 3 years, effective immediately and expiring June 30th, 2026. Resolution C, reappointment of Jennifer Colville, Diane DiRuggiero, Deborah Berrytoon, and Ingrid Vega Valerio as members of the Sussex County Youth Services Commission for a term to begin immediately and expire on December 31st, 2025. Can I get a motion to adopt resolutions A through C?
Still moved.
Deputy Director Carney, motion, and a second.
Second.
Commissioner Schick, seconds. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space,
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay. Number 14, we have resolutions A through, a bunch of them. Resolutions A through EE. Can I get a motion to adopt resolutions A through EE?
Still moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney, and a second. Commissioner Schick. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space,
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, awards of contract change bids order. Resolutions A through G. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award contract change orders bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. Can I get a motion to adopt resolutions A through G?
Still moved.
Okay.
Second.
Deputy Director Carney makes the motion, and Commissioner DeGroot seconds. Do we have any discussion? Being none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space,
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, financials. Payment of bills list A, February 14th, 2024. Can I get a motion to pay the bills list?
Still moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney makes the motion, and a second. I'll second.
There you go.
Pay the bills.
Pay the bills.
Any discussion? None? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space,
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, personnel. Resolution A, personnel agenda A of 2/13/2024. Can I get a motion to approve personnel agenda A?
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner DeGroot makes the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Deputy Director Carney seconds. Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space,
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Resolution B, personnel agenda B of February 14th, 2024. Can I get a motion to approve personnel agenda B?
Still moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney makes the
Second.
motion, and Commissioner DeGroot seconds it. Can I get a discussion? Any discussion? No. Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space,
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution Personnel Agenda C of February 14th, 2024. Can I get a motion to approve Personnel Agenda C?
Still moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney makes a motion, and a second.
Second.
Commissioner Schick, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick,
Yes.
Director Space,
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney,
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Okay, 18, Administrative Report.
Thank you. To the public, again, I apologize for the mess outside. We are still sprucing the place up, as you can tell. It's getting a little nicer in here. We're continuing out throughout the rest of the building. We'll be going all through all the stairwells, and the main lobby there will be done. As you can see, it's being prepped, but apologize for the mess, but it's going to look a lot better when it's done. The budget, again, Elka, thank you for your staff. I'm very blessed to have a group of people, all the department heads, all the staff that was supportive and worked very hard in this budget. It was a lot of grinding of the teeth, and you know, it's not easy asking for things, saying no, but you're going through the process of what you need, what you don't need, and what you like to have. And we go through that pretty well, I think. And again, thank you so much. This past week was at the statewide joint insurance meeting where I was appointed at the executive committee, and now that Sussex County has a seat at that chair is a good thing. But at that meeting, we were awarded an award of implementing best practices. We were 5 entities out of 91 that got an award for this, and basically what that boils down to, we were recognized for our efforts of implementing good practices, good procedures, good training, and that just dives into, I know I talk about this a lot, but it means a lot. The last meeting, I commented that we had 14 brand new drivers on the road. 9 of them had never been snowplowing before. We had no issues whatsoever with those drivers, no incidents, no accidents. The reason you get there is because you put good practices ahead. If we had bad numbers and we didn't have good practices, we have no hope of getting better. So this is just a testament that the fund recognizes as well, that not only are we doing the right things for our employees, that we got practices and principles in place that maintain that. So I was very proud to accept that award for the county. Lastly, on NJAC, as Commissioner DeGroot said, I'm also a member of NJAC, and this week I was appointed to the Legislative Committee Review Group and the Nominating Committee Group. So we got 2 more seats at NJAC that we can put our motions in and help support the constituents of Sussex County. Lastly, we talked a little bit last week about the negotiations with corrections. I've been another update. We have a draft of an MOU going to the sheriff this week. I would suspect that I'll be prepared to present an MOU for that unit to the board probably middle of next week for your review. So we're moving along very well with that. That's all I got for tonight.
Okay. Thank you. County Council report.
Only one brief item. I have with me the New Jersey Library Construction Bond Act substantial change request form. The application's effectively done. We're missing 2 pieces in order to file it. One is whether the governing body of the library has approved the changes to the project. I'm told that the library does not have an independent board, which would therefore suggest to me that the governing body is the county commissioners. I want to verify that that's the case. If in fact that's the case, we'll need a quick resolution from you guys to append to this thing to submit with it. We could effectively do that at the next meeting, but I just want to do a little bit more digging because I didn't quite understand how that could not be the case. The second one is we need some cost estimates and some source of fund estimates. There are templates included within the application that require some financial numbers to be plugged in that I don't have. So I will meet with Elka so I can make sure that we can fill those in. But once those 2 pieces are done, they can be filed. The only outstanding item I think you might need to act on, if I can't figure out another way, would be a resolution approving the entire package once you see what the funding is, which I'll work on getting over the course of the next week or so. But that'll be it. It'll be done and be ready to be in. Everything else is complete.
Okay.
I do have a question for council regarding the jail. I know we were in the midst of the appraisal. From what Ron told me, that the PO is ready to go out. With that being said, just to expedite this sale, we have to put this, explain to me again, and the public as well, explain to me how that has to go out. This is an auction, silent auction?
Yeah, so it has
goes out
it has to be a public auction. So once we get our appraisal back, it'll give us the financial parameters of what the project, but what's the property's potentially worth. Then it has to be publicly auctioned off.
And we put a minimum? Is that how we would start?
We can affix certain parameters. Minimums can be among them, but obviously if you don't have a minimum bid, then if we don't have a successful bidder, we're then able to negotiate with individual purchasers. But you have to check that first box first. It has to be offered for public bid by statute. Once that's done, if we're either unsatisfied, we have the ability to reject all bids for whatever reason. If we don't have a bidder or we don't have a successful bidder, then we're able to negotiate for a purchase with a purchase price. The purpose of the appraisal is to make sure that if it does either come to an auction or if we end up negotiating, the public, that there's transparency, the public's aware that whatever the negotiated price is, at least they understand what the asset's worth. Mike Holstein gave us a pretty comprehensive overview of how to arrive at that, because there's so many different moving parts based on the jail and what it's used for, what its parts are potentially worth, what it's worth with parking, without parking, etc. So it's somewhat complex, but he did a pretty good job of pulling all the moving pieces together. So what you'll see when he's done is not a singular appraisal, it's going to be appraisal with a bunch of subparts.
Okay. Yeah, there's really no reason to go forward until obviously we have that number. I can't write anything up until that time.
Yeah, but I've done the outline though, so I know exactly what we need to do once that's done, so we won't waste a lot of time.
So when the time comes, we have a number, the commissioners will agree on it, and then we go from
We'll
there.
get it on the agenda, we'll agree to release the information that we have, we'll be able to put it out for bid, we'll be able to have an auction, and then we can just literally keep it all out directly in relatively short order.
Just a point, I guess it's the horse or the cart. We still have to go in front of the Newton Planning Board with a subdivision distinction over there, because that's one big piece of property, so we're going to carve that out. Do we do that after the auction or before the auction? Because we can plan to do that sooner than
I think
not.
we need to do that before. We
I
can't
would
sell
think
something
so.
that's not subdivided.
Right.
Yeah, we can start the application process at almost any time. I'll be up here Tuesday of next week. Maybe we can sit down and go over that, talk to engineering, and make sure that we have what we need from them. And it's as you're aware, it's a cursory review.
It's cursory, just got to check the box. I get that, but we got to check the box.
Yeah, I think if we can do that in the interim of putting that PO out, that would be good. That way we're ready to go when we come up with that number.
Got it.
Good.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have a question. Is the auction going to be for the total property, or is it going to be separate auctions for some parts?
That's going to be a decision that you guys are going to have to make. I think what ultimately is going to happen is you're going to put it out to bid in subparts. Somebody may bid on the whole thing, somebody may bid on bits and pieces. You'll have to decide what of it you want to do. And if you don't get a bid that you're satisfied with or not for what you want to get rid of, then you'll be able to enter into private negotiations.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. Do we have any unfinished business?
I do.
Okay.
I'm on a roll. So Frankfurt put out, we talked about the force main last meeting, the laterals, which basically for people who don't understand the lateral or force main, it's a sewer system that we have to put in as a county that'll run through Frankfurt. I talked to them, I met with them to put in a sewer service area. They put out a survey to their residents. I just want to let you guys know what they came back with. There was 10 residents that were good with it. There was 3 that were no. There were 2 that were unsure. I did talk to the clerk. I did meet her last week. So some people called and they didn't want to be forced into anything. And from what my understanding is, and I wish the mayor was here, he could explain more from Frankfurt, that some people just put a new septic in. So my understanding of Frankfurt's not looking to force anybody to do it, which I agree with. They won't get another septic permit if they need to do so. Septics are around $40,000. My estimates that I got to hook up these laterals and to disregard the old septic is around $5,000 to hook up. So even with I think the fees are around $200, $300 a quarter. You're talking 30 years before that it pays itself off. And sewers are more desirable, obviously, than septics from people who don't live in the area. So that was done. Their next step is to make that a dedicated sewer service area. They have to apply with the DEP and so on and so forth. I don't know if we want to have that hold up the design. I guess that's a question. How much more time and money would it have us to just design the laterals where these houses are? That's a question I can come back and ask, to engineering. And if it's not that much, I would probably go ahead and doing it. I don't listen, DEP's a pain, so I don't know what they're ever going to say, but I still think this can't hold us up, is my point. But I hate to run the force main without putting these laterals in and lose out on that revenue. There was actually another, and there was a farm there, I forgot to say. There was a farm that was very interested. They have a bunch of land. I don't know if it's Serbos or not. They have a big tree farm there that they were interested in. One day that might be developed, who knows, which we can incur a lot more force, if you will. So that's where we are with the unfinished business. With that, I'll keep you up to date, and I will inquire about the cost to run the laterals. That way we have it, and we can decide, do we want to get held up? Do we not want to do it? So, all right, that's all I have.
Okay. New business. I do have some new business. I will be honest, this one has not been easy for me. January, I had hoped Commissioner Hayden would be here, but he left. On January 29th, I want to bring this on the record to the board. On January 29th, Commissioner Hayden had a Facebook post that referred to a female elected official and something that she had done when she was married, and that is not me. But under that post, he had a comment, and this is the comment that he had that does affect me. Worse is the one where guy threatens to go shoot up an opponent house. Yeah, he has a lot to lose. So come to find out, it has been brought to my husband's attention that that house that Commissioner Hayden is talking about was my house, that someone had threatened to shoot, apparently called Commissioner Hayden up in the middle of the night and had threatened to shoot up my house. And he was asked on the phone who it was, and Commissioner Hayden stated who it was, and the person on the phone said, you mean they want to go after the spaces? And he said yes, and he chuckled. It was funny to Commissioner Hayden. I personally find it appalling that he did not hang up the phone, call the authorities, call county council, call me, call my husband, call anyone. For the last 2 weeks, I've been in my own home. I'm a wife, a grandmother, a mother. I have my grandson in my house sometimes and have had to sleep in my house with one eye open, wondering if this person was going to come shoot up my home. Well, I'm not going to state who that person is, but it has been brought to the authorities, and I just want to say my utter disgust with Commissioner Hayden for deciding to keep that to himself. In this world where people are crazy, no one should have to sleep and worry about that. And there are many other things. And I bring to this board tonight a resolution that I had made where I would like to see this board censure Commissioner Hayden. And here is the resolution that has been drafted, and I was hoping that he would be here so that I could face him and have this done. But here is what I have come up with. Whereas Commissioner Bill Hayden serves currently as a duly elected member of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, and whereas Commissioner Hayden has demonstrated a pattern of behavior, actions, and inaction that are consistent with the responsibilities and expectations of his office, and whereas Commissioner Hayden has violated the trust of the citizens of Sussex County by and through his harassing, inflammatory, spurious, surreptitious, and other calculated actions and inaction, including but not limited to failing to disclose to law enforcement, county officials, his commissioner colleagues, or the individuals the subject thereof threats of physical violence against other elected officials and their family while surreptitiously discussing same with others. 2, violating Section 2 of the Employee Handbook engaging in a relationship with a subordinate employee while an elected official of Sussex County, thereby exposing the County of Sussex to claims of workplace misconduct, retaliation, hostile work environment, and sexual harassment. 3, disclosing to others not entitled to such information and prior to its disclosure to the public, privileged executive session content in violation of his oath of office and the trust of his office. 4, disseminating false and misleading information about, among other things, the cessation and discontinuation of the county weekend bag program, which provides no-cost bag lunches to qualified Sussex County children, whereas these actions have caused harm to the reputation of the county and county commissioners and undermined the integrity of the Board of County Commissioners. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the undersigned members of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, do hereby express our grave concern and censure with regard to the actions, inaction, and behavior of Commissioner Hayden, and be it further resolved that we call upon Commissioner Hayden to make amendments to the board, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be recorded upon the minutes of the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, and that a copy be presented to Commissioner Hayden, certified as a true copy of the resolution adopted by the board on the 14th day of February 2024. Okay, and we do have a typo. There should be, in the one phrase that I read, Commissioner Hayden has demonstrated a pattern of behavior, actions, and inaction that are inconsistent with the responsibilities and expectations of his office. And I say this freely, and I also know that the consequences to me will be that, and I'm going to say this at the meeting, Commissioner Hayden's consultant, who is not the person that he stated wanted to shoot up my house, but he will definitely be writing about me, and I'm good, because words don't hurt. So I'm fine with that, but I would like to just see if my colleagues would like to have any discussion. Anyone have any discussion?
Well, I do. I don't know if you want to make a motion first, but nor here nor there. The only thing that I would like to ask is for council to define censure. That way, everybody here at the dais, including the public, would like to understand what censure means. If you could do that, I would appreciate that.
Sure, it's a verbal admonishment. It's an expression by the board that is memorialized in this particular case in a resolution of a determination by the board that one's conduct is inconsistent with the oath and responsibilities of the office. It doesn't deprive a person of their elected office. You can't do that. You can't take their seat away. It doesn't deprive them of their ability to vote or have an opinion, but it is an expression by this board of a determination by the remaining members or the voting members of it that support such a resolution, that you have determined that one of your colleagues' actions or inaction are inconsistent with their responsibilities as an elected official, as an elected member of this board.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to make the motion myself personally. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, Director Space makes the motion, Deputy Director Carney seconds it. I'm going to open it up for discussion now.
Yes, discussion. I just want to state, I firmly believe that actions carry consequences, especially for us in positions of the public trust, right? We as elected officials are held to a higher standard, like it or not, but we ask to be in these seats. It's a true privilege to be in these seats. We actively sought these roles and with them carry the duty to adhere to the laws, codes, and regulations that govern our conduct. Serving as a commissioner, as I said, is not just a role, it's both a privilege and a profound honor. Commissioner Hayden will be in my prayers.
Thank you. A roll call, please.
Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Schick.
Yes.
Director Space.
Yes.
Deputy Director Carney.
Yes.
Commissioner DeGroot.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Okay. Any other new business?
Just to be clear before, too, we will go ahead and write a resolution in support of District 24. I know Doug said it's off the table, but as you know, he also said that we should be prepared and send our voice down to Trenton.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it's not going to come back,
Yeah,
Commissioner. It's
no,
just not.
you're right. No, yes, you're right. So we'll have something for everybody to look. Hopefully as soon as Monday. I'll work on that with Christina, and you guys can look at that for our next meeting and get that out as soon as possible.
That sounds good.
That's all.
Thank you. Public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda topics. Please line up at the microphone and state your name and municipality for the record. Can I get a motion to open the floor for public comment?
Still moved.
Second.
Deputy Director Carney, and a second from Commissioner DeGroot. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. The floor is open to the public for comment.
Sandy Hall from Layton, New Jersey. Thank you for the opportunity to address the board. You may remember that the Delaware River National Park and Lenape Preserve Alliance has put forth a plan to change the designation of the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area to a national park and preserve. Copies of the revised proposal and comments were provided to each commissioner in October of last year. I have that same information available for Commissioner DeGroot and Commissioner Schick, so y'all can know what we're talking about. Thank you for that. I'm also providing each commissioner with copies of our newsletter from the Delaware Water Gap Defense Fund and information about our public meeting on March 9th in Sandyston Township. Of course, you are all welcome to attend, listen, and/or make a statement at that time, and a Zoom link to that meeting will be available shortly. I will present the revised proposal and comments to the Sussex County Planning Board at the March 4th meeting. During a conversation today with Ms. Silvestri, I advised her some of the concerns in the proposal that could have a negative impact on Sussex County, and that the Planning Board should be aware of those issues. Specifically, of course, is the forest to field conversion and the negative impact it could have on timber degradation, soil erosion, and all the things that are listed in that proposal. I want to thank you for your continued support for our efforts to defeat this designation proposal, and I thank you tonight for your time and your consideration, and I have all the information for the clerk.
Thank you so much, Sandy. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Sandy.
it. You're doing
You'll have
great.
the Zoom and all that other stuff.
Pardon?
You'll have that Zoom information.
Everything will, Zoom isn't set yet, but it will be shortly.
You would mind maybe one day in the next couple weeks, you and I sit down and have coffee so I can just get your...
Absolutely.
So I know you only have 3 minutes here. I'd like to spend a little bit more time with you and kind of get a little bit more grasp. I'm
Absolutely.
liaison to planning, and I'd like to sit with you a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you. Anyone else?
Michelle Van Allen, Hardiston Township. I would first like to welcome Mr. Schick as appointed commissioner, Mr. DeGroat as a very young voice on this board, which is needed in the Sussex County area, and we appreciate that you were elected. Commissioner Space, opposite sides of the aisle maybe, but no one should feel threatened in their own home.
I agree.
And I'm sorry to hear about that.
Thank you.
Censuring, your explanation is, so here we are. What happens after that? I mean, how badly does someone have to continue to screw up before they're asked to step down? Or the county can petition for someone to be removed because his behavior represented that before he was elected, in my opinion. And now here he is for all the county to see that he is not behaving appropriately. So I don't know where it goes from there. Perhaps you can enlighten the audience as to what could happen from here out. Because Mr. Hayden's behavior is not acceptable. So you tell us. I also wanted to ask Mr. Carney, what you read earlier about, is that a proposed resolution that you spoke about from La Ribera?
Not necessarily.
Coming from it.
This was a press. It was a press release. What I read.
It was a press release.
Correct.
What is he asking of you?
It's again was a support. Chairman La Barbera supported this. No one asked me to do anything. This is what I'm asking the commissioners to support of.
Supporting.
I took it upon myself.
Okay.
So
by
when
bringing forth a resolution?
So I'll end it at this. We'll write a resolution. It'll be on the agenda for next meeting, and then everybody can read it then.
And your resolution would be that you're going to ask for censorship in libraries?
You'll read it at their next meeting.
1 minute?
He'll be prepared.
Okay, because I just want to make clarity that when a librarian is hired in the school, she is usually a master's degree in her field, his or her field, and they know what they're supposed to bring in and not bring in. And if there is a book in a library that a particular parent does not want their child to look at, that parent doesn't have to let their child read that book. You can't ask 500 or 600 kids to not be able to have that ability because one parent disagrees. And if you're putting forth a resolution for Sussex County, which would be for libraries throughout the county and within the school system, I think that needs to be reviewed. This is not a brand new issue. So this will be presented at the next meeting?
As long as everybody's on board, yes, I will have it ready for next meeting. Yeah?
Okay, and public, and that wouldn't be approved. It's public, can also have discussion on it when you bring it.
Of course.
Okay,
It'll be on the agenda, and you'll
Time.
have your public comment.
great. Thank you for your time.
You got it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I apologize for answering director.
Johnson, I understand this, excuse me, I'm going to a resolution 14C. It's about the grant fill with the commodity resale. I just don't understand what that means.
That's in short terms, it's a shared service. Branchville now can buy fuel from the county. They get fobs for their trucks, and they pay us back for the use of the fuel. So it's a commodity, but we call it commodity resale. The commodity is fuel and
Resales
diesel.
from the county
To
too.
them, yeah. Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Money. Thank you. Anyone else?
I think we did that a little bit with our salt, too.
We do salt. We've
So
got
trying
four
to-
others
yeah,
on
we
board too.
Try to save the municipalities money by, buying large amounts. We're bigger, obviously, the municipalities, and we get to save them some money.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, being that there is no one else, can I get a motion to close the floor for public comment and return to regular business?
Still moved.
Okay, Deputy Director Carney, and a second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Schick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. 23, reminders. Please check the county's website at www.sussex.nj.us for meeting schedules. And we are going to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So
Still
moved.
moved.
Okay.
Second. We'll
Commissioner
give the new guy,
Schick
we'll
makes
give
the
the rookie.
motion, and Deputy Director Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and it is 7:02.